Literally never.
I'm
always a minute or two late.
I set my my like live appointment thing. What's that called when you schedule it? I set it for 5 minutes late because I was like, "There's no way
There's no way. There's no way. 1 second, make my internet just okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special after party. Special is definitely the word for how I'm going to describe this week's episode. We said that last week was going to be our most chaotic show. And we were right by many accounts. Last week really was a very special time to be a part of Stark Radio and be a part of the after party series. There was a lot of factors that really played into our conversation last week. But I think that the other piece of why this show is so much fun and why I enjoy doing it is because, we how many episodes are we on? Is this episode 6? 6 weeks of doing this, and I think we've really found a great relationship with all of you watching. Alexis and I are essentially besties at this point as well. So, let's let the chaos just roll right into this week. How are you doing this week, Alexis? What are your initial thoughts heading into this episode? Fill everyone in on what's going on in your world.
I had a crazy week, but a good week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
This episode was it was another episode that I feel like started with the wrong question.
Yes.
It was interesting. Yeah.
Speak on it. I'm gonna plug in my ring light because I'm never prepared when I hit the live button.
I feel like this episode asked the question the idea was, what if Killmonger saved Tony?
Yes.
But other than the suits, which I think Killmonger could have gotten some other way, I don't necessarily know that it was important to save Tony because we don't actually see the effects of what having Tony not make the Iron Man suit accomplished, and he dies anyway. So what was the point? So I think the episode would have hit a little bit better for me if it was just what if Killmonger was Black Panther? And focused on the last half of the story. Did kind of a prelude, this is how we got to where we are. He's Black Panther. These are the effects, rather than being he saves Tony, but really in the storytelling that has no purpose.
I want to revisit your very first point, which is that they asked the wrong question. Typically, when we talk about this specific problem with the show, we typically can come to a conclusion of oh, well, what should they have explored? What was their point? And this is the first episode of What If where I have no freaking clue what they were trying to do. I cannot figure out what the working back point was, other than, oh, well, let's make sure everyone knows that Killmonger was a bad guy and he's not to be sympathized with. Because I feel that's a part of a conversation around, in general, around Killmonger's character and people being he is representative of so many different systemic things, and take that off the table for a minute. And it just felt let's find a different capacity to villainize this guy from. And I don't understand why that was necessary. I don't understand why a lot of What If was necessary. But specifically with this week's episode, the question didn't just perplex me, but I couldn't trace it back to what I felt was a really strong starting point for this concept. Do you have any thoughts on what you think the starting point was supposed to be, or no, you're with me on this?
Yeah, there was a lot of dialogue, or a fair amount of dialogue for a 30-minute show about fighting your oppressors and changing the system and different family dynamics, which is really what we saw from Killmonger in Black Panther period, right? Were those same types of ideas. So I think they were kind of going for a story that looked at that, but I don't think you get to investigate that when the bulk of your story is this grift, is this long con that he's running, right? So I kind of go back to, if you would have started us and just kind of had the watcher be in this universe, blah and blah happened, and he's the Black Panther and he's lying to everybody about, what his intentions are, and then had kind of told us a family story from that point forward, and even maybe put him in this situation where at some point he realizes, well, he does want to be a part of this family, but he can't because he's hiding all these secrets. That would have kind of been a different way to play.
And it felt like they were going there for a moment or two halfway through around that battle point. It felt like we were going to actually dip into what if Killmonger had a family? What if Killmonger had actually grown up in his culture, right? And then it was that whole point didn't even matter. I think why would we even tease that as part of this?
Well,
And
and
I
I
feel like
didn't
that would
get
have been cool and
to
compelling, right? But
yes, I'm like,
also, I don't know if
why
Marvel knows how to tell that story, but
yeah. And I like, yes, you're not wrong. And I think uh, it was weird to me that like we went to the point to see T'Challa on the ancestral plane and then did nothing with it. So like to
yeah.
me that was like this would be a good moment to like talk about what family is, right?
Mhm.
Like watching the sunset with his uncle, a good moment to like talk about what
Mhm.
family is. But like we didn't
Mhm.
we didn't get any of that. So I
We
felt
didn't get any of that.
similarly to the way I felt about the Doctor Strange episode, which was like, what
Yes.
is the question that you're trying to answer? Because
Yeah.
the question you asked is not the question you're answering.
And I think that TikTok really nailed it. Like I saw so many TikToks this week of people being like, if this show had been given to fan fiction writers,
Mhm,
it would be incredible. Give them the
mhm,
same budget, give them the same animators, give them the same editors. Just put fan fiction writers in the writers' room, or take a day, just one day. Not no, sorry, I won't even say a day. I'll say take an afternoon, a Friday afternoon, and head over to Wattpad and head over to AO3 and
mhm.
just browse some of what's happening over there and inform some of your storytelling from those points.
Yep.
And there are people, and we will talk about Rogers the Musical very soon. And we have a big show planned around Rogers the Musical. So if you're watching to talk about Rogers the Musical, it is coming. And there are a lot of people that have rightfully pointed out that there are people in the community that are creating ideas that then somehow seem to appear
Mhm,
in the MCU.
mhm,
And it's like, isn't it fascinating that fans like lift this labor of love out of their passion for this
mhm,
community? And then we see those same unique narratives directly
mhm,
reflected inside of the MCU.
mhm,
So a lot to be unraveled from that
mhm,
statement, but to specifically talk about this episode for just a few minutes more, because I think we could really repeat the same conversation we had about Doctor Strange, like you said.
mhm,
Our main issue with this entire series is that the women have been written horribly,
mhm,
essentially. Like the bar has been very low for women in this series. And this episode, we actually had some powerful women step forward and were written at least better than the other episodes. We had the beautiful general
mhm,
of the army step
mhm,
forward for T'Challa, fighting these fight scenes and
mhm,
being absolutely incredible. We had Shuri written a little bit differently. We had
mhm.
Pepper Potts written a little bit differently. In comparison to past conversations we've had about how women are written in this series, what did you think about this episode and how it stacks up?
I don't maybe somewhere in the middle. I
Okay.
mean, not that I really have a top one, so I guess this is it. But literally the last thing I wrote kind of in my notes was part of the quote that kind of the watcher says at the end about heroes. And
Mm-hmm.
I wrote, heroes are never really gone. They're just refrigerated so the male characters can tell the story. Because
Mm-hmm.
really, what was interesting about the story to me was Pepper and
Yeah.
Shuri. And we don't get any of that conversation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like that, the watcher wanted to end this episode on the note that like heroes do their thing and the people they inspire do their thing too. It felt very like, okay, I was in the throne, but here's my second chair if you would like to come in and not get any screen time to tell your story. But I did like there are things I liked about the episode, right? I did like the general. I did like the way I liked the way Pepper was written a little bit more than I have previously.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her conversations with Rhodey, for example. I thought all of that was cool. So there were some, and I also liked that the Dora were just like colloquially referred to as the Dora. I think that's a
Yeah.
really interesting thing that we're seeing more in Marvel, that we know what their roles are.
Yep.
In the comics, there are certain times where the Dora Milaje are not what we know them to be in the films,
Mm.
where they are portrayed much more as women who go through this training and this rite of passage to be worthy of marrying the king. And it hasn't been until recently that those stories have transformed more into these really powerful women who are largely not interested in men, who, run the kingdom. And so I thought it was interesting to see them again in that light where they're, fighting and they're powerful, and they have a female general who in another story would just be kind of the token queen. I thought all of that was great.
I need to read a comment from YouTube really quick for our TikTok audience. The King just commented, Alexis's notes will one day be important historical documents up in a museum somewhere. I agree. I completely agree with that statement. And Alexis does some really fantastic videos where like she talks through her notes. So if you haven't seen those videos, you can go to Alexis's profile after the show. Don't be going right now while we're talking. Trying to get my phone. Hold on, YouTube audience. My TikTok audience is just seeing chin. Okay, there we go. Alexis has some really great videos where she walks through her live note taking as it happens. The King's also adding that just where Alexis's notes would be found in a museum, you have the Magna Carta, the Declaration of Independence, and then you would have all of Alexis's notes that she writes for the show and your other content that you do. Do you have like an acceptance speech you would like to make on that regard?
I don't know. My first reaction, which is not a good one, was like, as long as it's at a museum that didn't have like a Purdue Pharma wing, like as long as that family didn't sponsor the museum, and I feel. And I don't know that I want to be like, that's a lot of pressure. Like, I feel like maybe if there are like some cool children's book authors in the museum, like you can put me over like down.
Listen, you know how in Nashville there's like the Taylor Swift Education Center?
Yes.
So I'm like, this is the Alexis Blake Education Center. Like, I'm going to rename this show because all you do every week is show up and teach me all kinds of stuff that I did not know the week before. Maybe that can be like a concept for your channel. Like, welcome to the Alexis Blake Education Center. Here we will teach you everything you need to know about Bucky and Fish.
Bucky, yeah.
And Alpine.
I started getting asked again this week if I knew who Bucky was, and I was like, oh man,
if you knew who Bucky was.
Every time I get like new friends, they're like, hey, do you know anything about like Bucky in the comics? And I'm like, oh,
do you know that sound? Do you know that TikTok sound that's like, don't quote the dark magic to me. I was there when it was written.
Yeah.
That is you and Bucky.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I want to say hi to some TikTok folks that just joined us. I'm seeing you in the chat. Hello, and hello to our friends on YouTube watching as well. Nicholas Cage is coming for Alexis's notes. We'll discuss next week if he's successful in that endeavor. But really quick, I want to talk about this week's show because we have a lot going on. We're talking about What If and the episode that was just aired this week with Killmonger and Tony Stark. We have a few more minutes of discussing this episode, and then it is the moment that everyone's been waiting for. We are fan casting Rogers the Musical. We are breaking down Rogers the Musical. We have a very special guest who is with us in the production studio waiting to come on and join us. She'll be on TikTok Live with us as well. And if you're not watching the show tonight on YouTube and Twitch, if you have ever thought maybe I should go see what they're doing over on YouTube and Twitch, tonight is the night because we have full graphics for fan casting. It is going to be an experience. So please come join us. Link in my bio. Stark Radio Show, producer Liz, you should be able to find us live on YouTube and Twitch. And to those of you watching over there, hey, what's up? Great to have you. We'll be starting the Rogers Musical part of the show very shortly. Let's just circle back on this episode though and really wrap up our thoughts because unfortunately, I feel like we don't have like many unique narratives to speak of with this show this week, which is fine. But there are some interesting points that we can explore in terms of Killmonger and his role in the MCU. An interesting comment coming from Jack. Imagine if Killmonger saving Tony actually changed both of their characters for the better instead of whatever that was. And I completely agree with you, Jack. And this is really what I found to be the most disappointing about the writing of Killmonger in this episode. Like, yes, he is this mastermind that can come up with these ideas for plots and plans and using people to accomplish his big overarching goal. And we know that from Black Panther. But in episodes past, we have had characters come back to us with and we've talked about this at length. Like, to understand an episode, you really had to know the MCU in depth to understand the true message coming across. And my hope for this episode is that they would play into that fault
Right.
and give us Killmonger and be like, hey, let's hope that they know Killmonger's intent. Let's hope that they know what Killmonger is capable of, and show them a completely new take on who this guy is and who he could be if he had the right support and culture around him. And just like you said on YouTube, Jack, I think that instead what they did was like, all right, everyone knows that Killmonger is mischievous and he can plot and he is not afraid to some people. So let's just play right on that train. And he's just going to try his exact same plan while also making everyone relive the trauma of Tony Stark and everyone else that we love. What do you have thoughts on my rant and on Jack's thought here, Alexis?
I mean, I feel the exact same way. And when I had seen it in the trailer, that was my hope. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. We're gonna get like some interesting like story of them lifting each other up." I did think it was interesting in a positive way that this episode really called out Killmonger's intelligence deliberately in a way that I don't think the movie did. I think the movie implied. And in this one, we got, he was in his dress whites. We got references to his doctoral thesis, right? We got all of this. So I was encouraged by that, and then let down like in the same way. And one of the things I have in my notes pretty early on was like, well, what if they were frat boys? Because that's really the vibe we get from them the whole time. And I wanted more like, what if they were, intelligent bros that were lifting each other up? And so
and what if we saw some of the Tony that went to Peter Parker?
Yes.
And like helped Peter Parker really formulate his intent, right? But no, we didn't get that at all. We got Tony being like, oh, weapons?
Exactly.
Let's build them using my money.
Yeah.
I'm really
alcohol,
leveling down.
Womanizing? Woo-hoo!
Yeah, let's do it together, buddy. Like, and let's, for the sake of using a graphic that I have queued up, let's talk about one other piece of Killmonger's character development in this episode, which was the iconic line, "What? I like anime." Which was a bit of a throwaway joke, but I really appreciated it. Like, you have Killmonger in his like gorgeous garb with all of his medallions and suiting from the military, and he's showing Tony his doctoral work, and he just stops and says, "What? I like anime." Like, okay, man, show your cards. Sure, why not in this universe? You're an anime fan.
I will say this episode, so one of the things from the beginning, and I don't know if it was actually different or if I was just reading it as different, but this episode felt very video gamey to me in a way that the other ones haven't. I think especially like in the way that like Pepper talks directly to the camera, but oh wait, it's Rhodey. Like it felt very much like, and in that there were lots of these like little like one-liners like that one, like I like anime, that they threw out that just, I mean, that one worked, but like we have both a reference to chess and then a reference to Clue, like within the same two lines. That was the intern. Those were the intern lines of the week.
Intern lines of the week. Intern lines of the week. Because we have found it.
Really, neither of those games, like Killmonger isn't playing chess. Like that's not because he's not really working against an opponent. The opponent is static, right? So like that's not right. And like Clue, I mean it works a little bit better, but not in the same way. So I'm like, well, neither of those have anything to do with what the point that you're actually trying to get across. They felt similarly to the anime line to me. Like,
that was definitely like let's make him sound clever and not think through this analysis at all style of writing that we have hated throughout this series, which is why I think it's our perfect intern spotlight of the week. I'm gonna just read some of the comments that we're getting, so I'm really liking some of the conversation. Shadow Warlock on TikTok is saying their second least favorite episode of this series, but better than Captain Carter.
Well, it's a low bar.
I would agree. I would say a lot of things are better than the Captain Carter episode, in my opinion. So I agree with you there, friend. Shadow Warlock says, I don't mind seeing Tony multiple times. I'm not really a Tony Stark girl. So like I understand. However, I'm just like tired of like this show being like, let's show you all the different ways the characters can
because it's lazy writing.
I want to see them be joyful for 5 seconds and not have on the other end of that joy, you know. I'm sorry, I can't say the words. I'm so scared we're gonna get banned.
And I was gonna make a sign and just hold it up, but I ran out of time.
That would be good. Maybe for next week we'll have some like bleep signs. Yeah, that'd be good. The last thought that I really liked, which I didn't know, Michael B. Jordan loves anime, and he even asked that his outfit be similar to, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this wrong, Vegeta from Dragon Ball A. Vegeta? Vegeta. I'm so sorry I butchered that, but I think that's really cool that like I didn't know that was a Michael B. Jordan influence.
That makes me feel better.
So
does
maybe
he also like to play chess?
Michael B. Jordan's like, I will sign this contract if we have references to these 5 games.
I mean, I'm being serious. Like, somebody Google that. Is that a thing?
I really want to see the contracts for this show. Like, I really want to know what these actors agreed to and how much freedom they had with these lines. Oh, thank you. The key coming through for me. Never judging, always helping. Vegeta. Thank you, because I definitely did not say it like that. Also, if you're not watching the Keeg show, he does a show literally every night of the week, I think, or almost every night of the week. And they're all really fun and come at these conversations from many different angles. Comics, MCU, guests, what have you. So follow the Keeg on Instagram. The shows are incredible. Some more comments coming in that I really want to address. One of our viewers that's here with us every week, always with correct takes. I think this episode was definitely better than Doctor Strange as well. I would agree with that. I think that the Doctor Strange episode is like has pros and cons, and we talked a lot about the cons. But I also think that I understood the question a teeny tiny bit more than this episode. So maybe I would outrank Doctor Strange in my What If series ranking of the episodes. What do you think? Better than Doctor Strange or worse?
Well, that's like trying to compare 2 bad things. I would say better. I would say better because I didn't have to watch a repeated refrigeration. I only had to watch it once.
One time,
so to me, that takes the cake.
Amazing. And I'm seeing everyone come in on TikTok, and I want to say hello quickly. The fan casting is starting in literally 2 minutes. We're going to get the ball rolling on that front. We're just wrapping our conversation on What If. So let's get through a couple more of these comments before we move on. Jack coming in, they were really hammering home the parallels between Tony and Killmonger and saying how in the universe Tony isn't a hero. And I kept waiting for the switch where Killmonger would become the hero. And I agree with you completely, Jack. I feel like the point of this episode and the arc that I thought they were going to kind of just dropped towards the end. And I was like, wait, what? We don't know what question we're answering now. And I don't understand what the point of this hour was. But perhaps, and this is a very, like, I don't believe the words that are about to come out of my mouth, but I'm going to say it anyway. Maybe there's going to be a finale to this series. It'll make our minds blown. It'll make all of this make sense.
I saw someone
Alexis clearly agrees with me.
I cannot remember who it was, but somebody on TikTok did a video, and in their like caption, it said, "What if one of these episodes had an ending?" I was like, but you're not wrong.
Absolutely correct. I agree with that. And the last point I want to make about this episode before we move on to fan casting is for those of you that joined us last week, and I'm seeing people on TikTok, I'm seeing people on YouTube, I'm seeing people on Twitch, and I know y'all were watching last week. And we talked about how I was very fixated on the shower scene and the logistics of building that shower. And we talked a lot about like electrical in the MCU and plumbing in the MCU. And we had a big conversation around that, only for this week to have a direct reference to plumbing. And Alexis, I'm going to let you come in here and let you tell everyone what's in your notes.
I was really proud of you for influencing Marvel in that way. I don't know what time-traveling shenanigans you got up to, but it worked.
What if Liz was in the writer's room?
Yeah. The line was, "Please tell me that's plumbing." And it was a line from Pepper Potts asking about what wet work meant. The problem with this line is I don't know how you work for a weapons company and you don't know what wet work is. So it also had the same, it made her seem dumb at the same time, which I don't think was necessary. But yes, it's in my notes right beside a word I don't think I can say on TikTok. So I got halfway through that and was like, I don't think I can say that word.
I love it. So here's what I'm gonna say. if we see one more reference or inclusion of plumbing in the future of this series, there's like some voodoo at work, or this timeline is a what if timeline. Like there's something weird happening if we're gonna keep pulling back that reference. I was spooked watching it. I was like, no way they just said that after we made such a big deal out of that.
I will also say I made you watch Cool Drones last week, and this week had a lot of cool drones.
It had a lot of cool drones. It surely did. I did not forget. I said I was going to make a cool drones drop in this episode. You'll have to wait and see if I can make it work during the fan casting. So with that, a lot more we could talk about in terms of this series, a lot more we could talk about in terms of Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan, all these great thoughts. But I want to start the fan casting piece of the show. So if you don't know what we're doing tonight, you're in for a treat. You're in for a chaotic treat for the next hour. We are talking about Hawkeye. We're talking about Rogers, the musical. So if you don't know, the Hawkeye trailer dropped and we had a teeny tiny snippet of what looks to be a Broadway production of a musical called Rogers, the musical. And TikTok has blown up. If you're not seeing Rogers the musical on your For You page, I have no idea what side of TikTok you're on, because it's been all my feed is obsessed with dissecting notes, reading articles. There's been articles published around the internet around Rogers the musical, actors posting on their Instagram about it. So tonight we are here, and I want to say hello to the people on TikTok. I see you, Bucky's ex-wife. I see you, Ride Out L33. I see you all. Let's talk about our fan casting. And for this fan casting, I am so excited. I am beyond thrilled. Hold on. I don't know what I'm doing here on TikTok. Just 1 second. Hold on. Oh no. Can I get a third co-host in this? I think I can.
You do it.
Invite another co-host. Unable to connect to the host at this time. Okay, hold on. It's not meant to build suspense, but it also kind of is. It's okay. So we have a third guest. Oh, I just made my filter. I didn't add a co-host, but turned on a filter on TikTok. That's great too. We have a very special guest joining us. You know her for her iconic series about hair in the MCU, her amazing hot takes on everyone from Bucky to Loki, I think, to Wanda. I'm a big fan of this person, and I know that you are too. It is our dear friend. Hold on. Missa Bobissa, Marissa is joining us, and she is live in our studio. So if you're watching on TikTok, come over to YouTube and Twitch right now, because Marissa is live with us, and we're going to start this fan casting. And we're going to see if we can get Marissa hooked up on TikTok too. So Marissa, if you go on my live.
Yes.
Hold on. Everybody watching on YouTube and Twitch, like, enjoy a quick photo of Black Panther this week, and we're gonna talk about getting Marissa on the TikTok live. So if you come on my live and you request to join as a guest, I think that will work. Hold on, everybody. We're gonna get this. Admin settings.
Oh wait,
can you request to like be a guest?
I can at you.
So great question. If you're watching on TikTok and you want to come join us, if you go to my bio, you'll see my YouTube. It's Stark Radio Show. You can also find us on Twitch as Stark Radio Show. We're live right now. So if you go on YouTube, Stark Radio Show, you should see that we're live. Just click on that. You'll be able to see everything happening. And it's linked in my bio. It should be like, it says like following, and then there's like typically a little social media button. I think mine's my YouTube account, so try that. There's also my link tree is right there. You can go to my link tree and click on YouTube. You can only have 2 people on the clock app. I think you're right. Marissa is here. Manage.
See, I thought I saw people do it like as a guest, like could have a guest.
What did I do?
Oh,
our request.
Oh no! We just started a fight.
Okay.
I don't want to fight.
I don't want to fight. I'm so sorry. This is hilarious. Okay.
Our request
like open, because I
started a game instead of adding Marissa, so this is fun. This is great. So you know what? I don't think requests are open, because instead of adding you, I started a game on which is also fun. I'm here for it. Kind of match motivate. No. Okay. So I'm gonna take down the picture of Black Panther on YouTube and Twitch. This is really fun. Compete in a friendly match of wits, comedy, and other.
They're still in the game.
Okay, we're gonna start the fan casting. Come join us on YouTube and Twitch to see what we're all about. I want to get the conversation started, and we'll come back to TikTok in a moment. Let's talk about a point that I think is really impressive that Marissa brought up as we were preparing for the show, which is about how when you think of Rogers the musical, there's literally 12 different ways we can approach this, right? We can talk about Rogers the musical in terms of the musical we see in the Hawkeye trailer, which implies it's happening in the Sacred Timeline. Or you could talk about the millions of variations of this musical that could exist due to the Multiverse of Madness, of which I believe there must be a musical called Barnes the Musical, where it's like about Bucky and not Steve, but I'll digress. That's not tonight's conversation. And we could also talk about this in like a million other capacities. So Marissa, I want to hand it over to you. Talk to us about the many versions of this musical and what you kind of think broadly about each of them and where we're going to go maybe with tonight's conversation.
Okay. So there could be like a million different ways to go, like you said. I feel like the version we're seeing in the trailer is not what I would want to see.
Right.
It's looking rough. I think it feels like Disney-fied, but also like very sort of God Bless America.
Yeah.
I think what I would want, I know we all have like our own versions of what we would want, but what I would want is like dark and angsty and deep and like pop rock, and like I want it to be about Steve's grief and regrets, and like I want it to be sad and I want to cry.
And I think Alexis is on a very similar wavelength as that, from based on the conversations we've had. Alexis, do you want to jump in quickly and talk about your impression of the tone of this?
Yeah, I think what I would want is like is what Marissa said. I want like a darker piece. I want it to focus on Steve. I want it to be more like Bombshell, but about Steve Rogers. I feel like this was more like Disney Avengers the musical. So I don't know why it's called Rogers. Because I would want a story that, and you know, what do I know? It's not like I've seen it. But I would want a story that like focuses on like his life and like what being an Avenger meant to him rather than like what the battle was, right? And I feel like the bit that we see in the trailer is more like barrel roll, Newsies, Avengers, unite. And you know, that's not entirely my jam, but
yeah.
Okay, hold on here. I'm trying to like play 5 games right now. Not just the game that's being played on the TikTok live. I'm trying to figure out how to get the audio to stream from my computer so y'all can hear what's happening on TikTok. But I'm just going to remind everyone on TikTok again, come join us on YouTube and Twitch. You can see Marissa. You can see our fan casting screen where we're going to be actually putting in our picks for each character. It's a lot of fun over here on YouTube and Twitch. I know everybody watching on YouTube and Twitch has been very patient with us as we figure it out. I'm seeing all kinds of people in the chat too. Thank you for finding us. I am so pleased that everyone made their way over from TikTok safely and found our little live over here on YouTube and Twitch. That's awesome. Come join the party. The link is in my bio. Maybe it's in Alexis's as well, but you can find your way here. We'll wait a few more minutes for people to kind of make the switch over. Let's talk about Star Kid. This is a point I really want us to talk about in depth, because I think that there's a direct pipeline of people that were Star Kid fans at one point in time when Star Kid was at their peak, possibly still Star Kid fans.
Yeah, I was like, why are we speaking in past tense?
A fan of like amateur theater turned semi-professional turned like internet Broadway, right? Oh wait, hold on. Let's see who won our little battle here. I think Alexis won our TikTok game that we didn't mean to play. Oh yeah, look.
Oh, it's over now.
We're all winners.
We're all winners here on Stark Radio. That's so fun. So Marissa, now that no, I don't want a rematch. Oh, thank you for the gift.
Yours is really sad. It's crying really hard.
If someone, Marissa, if you want to try and come back on the...
You sent me another
I'm still watching.
I'm going to decline
Y'all, TikTok, not my strong suit, I guess. If you come back on the TikTok live, Marissa, and I think you are here. No, maybe it's not gonna
I'm
work, man.
here.
I was
Stop
told
trying
this
to
would
fight
work.
me,
I'm gonna have
Liz.
to go talk to my friends at TikTok and say, listen, y'all lied to me. Straight up. Okay. So we'll just continue on the stream. Hopefully people from TikTok, maybe if we have a moderator watching, y'all can just keep going in the chat, letting people know to come join us on YouTube and Twitch. I'm going to plug myself back in so I can actually hear the conversation because I couldn't hear you guys for a few minutes there.
Oh.
Okay. We're all here. We're ready for fan casting, but first let's talk about Star Kid. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on how the Star Kid movement has impacted what we've seen of Rogers the Musical, the influences perhaps amateur theater has had. Go ahead, Versa. I guess you're dying to jump in.
That's a great question. Wow, that's a great question. I haven't thought that deeply about it.
So I think we can see like a few things right off the bat with this, right? Like we can really tell, and y'all can see how Canva works if you don't know, but you can really, really tell from this 1 second of this god musical that it looks like a Star Kid production. And Alexis said it really well in a text to me and a video. I think it looks like Rent meets Hamilton meets Holy Musical Batman meets like a $500 costume budget. Right?
Green Hamilton Rent.
That's exactly what it is.
It does not look like a high-end production of Rogers the Musical by any stretch. I don't know.
It's got like the exact parallel between Holy Musical Batman and everyone in Converse and Rogers the Musical and everyone in black jeans.
Yeah, tactical dance pants is what I'm going with, and I don't understand them.
And I just love how throughout the Hawkeye trailer, you could see how high budget the show was. Mm-hmm. And like, probably this is meant to be satirical, right? And the whole point is going to be like that Clint shows up and is like, this is horrible, right? But even still, like, where was the budget to get them out of spandex, right? Like, these are Levi's from home. I would like to see a shield not made of plastic.
Yeah. It very much reads like with our poor Hulk friend in his Hulk hoodie. It very much reads to me like theater class final, everyone got cast, right? Like it was not like the creme de la creme of the amateur theater program either.
So yeah, we have some amazing comments coming in that I want to go back to. It's reading very High School Musical.
Yeah,
I want Bandstand meets Anastasia. I always say that one wrong too. Meets Beautiful. Newsies, perhaps. Reading very spam a lot to me, which I think that might be my favorite comment. I completely agree. What other references are we hoping this might clue into? Heathers? Imagine a Heathers musical number with like Steve, Bruce, and the shawarma guy.
Somebody in my comments the other day said Godspell, and I have not been able to unsee that.
That's really good. That's really good.
I guess Steve is Jesus. I don't know, but like,
yeah,
shawarma guy is Jesus. Absolutely.
Okay,
let's be clear.
I have to expose myself here. Everyone's talking about the shawarma guy. I can't tell who the shawarma guy is supposed to be in this picture.
He is up here. Let me introduce you. Oh, so we'll zoom really close here. This is shawarma guy, so people say, because he's got shawarma in his hand. But I would like to give credit to whoever figured this out, because it was not me. There was a slow zoom video I saw that zoomed in on this guy, a shawarma man.
Also, I'm digging the Chitauri Power Ranger. I had not previously seen that. I'm very excited.
There's a lot going on here.
Chitauri, yeah.
There's also I think there's a couple more down here. They've really said all the extras are going to be just various. How did they get good costumes?
The Chitauri look great, and everything else is just like.
But what is that choreography?
A jacket.
What is this like?
It's a single pirouette. It's literally a single pirouette and then like a pose.
Yeah,
and they can't. I want to.
But what happened to this guy?
I know, and his single pirouette is off. That's why it was the theater final.
I want to be like supportive of them because we know that they are actual professional actors.
Yes.
But nobody landed their pirouette at the same time.
Not one. So it must have been instructed, right? Like that was okay, nobody land your pirouette.
Right.
And everyone just do something a little bit different. And also, what's happening with Natasha up here?
Oh, she looks
like,
rough.
She's like, I was trying to get screenshots for our little fan casting game. Like, who is this?
She looks real rough.
I feel bad for her. The Keeg making a really compelling point that I think we must visit momentarily. Was it common knowledge in the MCU that the Avengers went to shawarma after the Battle of New York? Did shawarma sales go through the roof with the endorsement? There must be some data surrounding it.
That's an important question.
Some tabloid caught them sitting in that restaurant.
1000%. Maybe that's like a various pivotal point in some timelines, right? It's like shawarma or pizza, and then that like totally determines the result of Endgame.
Yeah. I need that now.
So with this analysis underway, let's dig into our game, which is about fan casting. And for everybody watching, I want you to be loud in the comments with your choices. Let's all defend our favorites here. I'm coming from left field with my analysis of who should play these characters. I feel like we've got really good representation in terms of Marissa coming in with this like very well-based Broadway knowledge. We know Marissa knows her stuff. And then we have me. I love me some Broadway, but like I have not looked at the like shining stars of Broadway in a minute. So I'm coming out of left field with some of my guesses. And Alexis, I feel like you're somewhere in the middle here in terms of your choices. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Amazing. So with that, let the game begin. We're going to go through our list of people that were who were somewhat identifiable from that screenshot we all just looked at together. And then we're going to move on to some characters that we didn't see in the screenshot that we believe deserve a role in this musical regardless. So starting off, let's talk about our picks for Steve Rogers. If this was a serious Broadway production and not like a parody production.
Like Hamilton, Rogers, Broadway.
Yes, we're Lin-Manuel Miranda-ing this to the max. So start commenting. Who would y'all cast as Steve in this musical? And Marissa, we're going to start with you. Who is your pick?
Okay. I was incapable of picking one person for any of these. I'm a Libra, guys. I'm very sorry.
Big Libra energy on Stark Radio tonight.
Yeah.
I'm between Derek Klena and Kyle Dean Massey.
Okay.
Kyle Dean Massey is a good one.
I feel a little bit more Kyle Dean Massey just because he reads a little bit older to me. I felt very strong Fiyero energy, though.
Okay. This is good. So now, just so everyone knows what I'm doing, I'm going to be frantically Googling photos of everyone as we go and trying to upload them to this grid. So if I get something wrong, it is not my fault. It is entirely Google's fault. So with that, let's get our photo of Kyle in here. The beauty of Canva live. We love to see it. Hold on here. Tell us more about this choice. What led you to this artistic decision in your casting of Rogers the Musical?
I don't know. I just like when I make decisions, it's just from the gut because I rarely can make a decision. Yep, that's him. You got him.
That's him.
I was just like, talented, can be angsty.
Yeah.
Leading man qualities.
Yep.
Traditionally attractive.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is great. All right. Alexis, do you have a pick?
Yes, but I'm not sold on it. So I had a lot of trouble with Steve. I feel like I like Steve is Steve, right? And so it was hard to find somebody to play Steve. I went with Aaron Tveit because I like
he was also on my list.
Normal, and I feel like he can do angsty and like he's been a leading man. So I also felt like that one wasn't controversial, and some of my other ones are. So I felt I would balance the scales there.
Hold on, and a photo of him, Aaron Tveit. Oh, here's a great photo. Hold on.
He can land a pirouette. So
absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, he's got that, if you're going for the classic all-American Steve Rogers, like, you know, he's kind of got the boyish smile for it, I think. This is a great photo. Let's just go ahead and get that in there.
I feel so official with our grid.
It's really good, right? Like, it's not the greatest, but it's also not the worst.
It's good.
Shout out to the grid. Okay, here's my pick, Mr. Jordan Fisher. I'm coming out of left field, my Steve Rogers pick.
Great.
He's got the vocal range to tell the Steve Rogers story. And that's what I was thinking of when I was thinking about who do I want the voice of Steve to be to actually lead this mess of a production. And my first thought was Jordan can fix anything. I would trust that man in any Broadway show to do a good job. Name a show that he would not find a way to shine in. Can you think of one? Alexis can. Okay. Well, okay. Do you have
No, I can't. I can't. Jordan Fisher is great. I can't think of one. I was not expecting you to be so passionate.
I'm very passionate about Jordan Fisher. Okay. I want him to know. I think he would be a great Steve Rogers.
I had him on my list as like people I want that I didn't know where to put. So like,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
To be fair, I would put him in any role. He could be Natasha, and I would be like, go on, King. Absolutely, get it. But for the purposes of also giving him a role he deserves, I'm going to put him in the role of Steve Rogers. Yes. And I would like to see what our comments are saying and what people are saying here. We think Kyle would be so good.
Yay.
Derek Klena is coming out. Keeg says, I'm having an anxiety attack imagining the juggling Liz is doing right now. It's all good. I'm having a great time behind the scenes Googling names and trying to spell things correctly. It's awesome. Could I think of a show he wouldn't shine in? The Flash on CW.
But honestly, that's where good actors went.
This is a DC free zone. This is a DC free space. However, I think you might have caught me on that, and I would agree. What are you saying? What are you saying?
That was my no. I need a sign.
Yeah,
that was my word I can't say.
Mm-hmm. We're saying oof and big oof.
I was about to say big oof is what I'm going with. Big oof.
Wait, I'm lost. Why are we saying big oof? I'm so confused right now. I'm totally Did I say something? Am I missing the joke?
I assumed
it's about Jordan
talking
Fisher.
about
about Jordan Fisher. Okay. No, we're talking about Jordan Fisher still. I was like, wait, did I just like black out for 5 seconds? What did we do? What did I say? That's like, because usually big oof means that like I put something on the screen that like was an email from 5 days ago that I didn't mean to put on the screen. Because I'm a producer Liz. So typically big oof means I've screwed up. So no, if we're talking about Jordan Fisher and the Flash, absolutely big oof. So let's move on from that, everyone. Okay, if we're thinking about Steve Rogers in terms of the Star Kid style production, like what we saw in the trailer, right? Like if we're thinking low budget, the last actor on the list who might be able to do a parody Steve Rogers justice, who do we think could fit the bill?
That's rough. That's really rough.
I'll tell you my choice.
Yes, go. You go.
Yeah.
Jordan Fisher.
He's the one good thing in the show.
Yes. He's our Darren Criss, right?
Yeah.
So like I don't have like a somebody trying to make it, right? Like a low budget choice.
Sure.
But this whole time, like anytime somebody to me has been like, oh, well, it's going to be a parody show.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason in my head, that meant that Christian Broyle needed to be Steve Rogers. I don't know why.
Yes.
But I feel like that is the type of chaos I want.
When I made my first video about Rogers the Musical, I said who should be Steve, and I said Christian Broyle on stilts or Jeremy Jordan in a muscle suit.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Because Christian Broyle has the arms.
He does.
He has insane arms, but he's very short. So just put him on stilts.
Is he short?
It'll be great.
And
Is he short?
everything he does,
He's short.
except
No
maybe
way.
his role in Smash. Everything
don't
that man
believe
has
you.
done has been very like flamboyant, all of it. So I feel like it would be a fabulous Steve Rogers. Like it would just be
Okay.
really
Is this the man in question?
over the top. Yes.
This is our low budget Steve Rogers.
Now I'm judging you. How do you not know
That's
who
a really
Christian
bad
Broyle is?
picture of him.
No, I'm just sometimes you Google a celebrity and another celebrity comes up and I get worried that I'm going to be the one that's like, is this Christopher Jamal Evans? And it's a photo of Chris Pratt, right? Like I would make that mistake live on my own show. So I'm going to validate.
Like Christian Broyle, something rotten Shakespeare pants.
Right.
But it's Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Hold on. Photo coming. Oh, those are good pants. I think. Are they good pants? Maybe they're not. So I have a photo that I'm going to use for your pick, Alexis, and I would like to justify it. So when you said good pants, I would like you to assume the pants on the left.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
I knew what I was talking about.
No. The pants on the left. I'm going to include both. I want Christian Borle, but I want the outfit on the left-hand side. And there it is.
That is Brian Darcy James, who is in Hawkeye.
It's true.
No idea who he's playing, but he's going to be in Hawkeye.
And I just had really awkward Smash flashbacks because not his finest role.
Not by any stretch.
No.
A question coming in from the Keek. Who is the guy that played Alfred in Star Kid? Yes, it's a great question. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Chris Allen.
Cly says Chris Allen, and I trust Cly.
I think it's Chris Allen. I was gonna say, if we're going with like the Star Kid direct parallel, like Steve would be Joe Walker, right? Like,
yes.
Oh, incredible pick. Yes, absolutely. You could also put like Lauren Lopez in the role of Steve Rogers, and like 100%. I would love that. I think it'd be great.
What if it was Skinny Steve is Lauren Lopez, and then like Serum Steve is Joe Walker?
Stop. That is way too much for me to think about. Thank you for clarifying in the chat when we're talking about Holy Musical Batman. Let's make sure we use that @ because this is a DC free space. And thank you. I agree with Lizzie. Lizzie's watching saying Lauren Lopez plays everyone. One woman show.
Lauren Lopez.
Agreed. You could do it.
Agreed.
You could do it.
I would pay a lot of money for it. Like I would pay a lot of money to watch Lauren Lopez do every MCU character. I want the Endgame battle, but it's just Lauren Lopez. Her running out of various points, like from curtain, like pretending to be different people. That'd be good. All right, and with that, let's move on to Thor. And I'm seeing a lot of people already saying my pick of Lauren Lopez to be Thor, and I agree. Lauren Lopez is a great choice for Thor, I think, for many, many reasons. But on a serious note, looking at Thor in like a more serious production, who would we want to play Mr. Thor? Start with Marissa.
Okay. I thought like who has like lovable himbo energy.
Yes. Absolutely.
And
correct.
This is not a judgment of this person. I want to make that very clear. I love them very much. Daveed Diggs.
Oh, see, I got close to Daveed. Yes.
Daveed Diggs for Thor. Let's find a good-looking photo of this man. We'll get one of him with the Hamilton background. Yes, I love it. And I don't think that's slanderous by any stretch.
No, I think it's very complimentary.
He should feel honored.
You should.
All right, I might steal your pick and also say Daveed Diggs for my serious casting. But what was your thought, Alexis?
So I kind of worked it backwards. I really wanted to see Noah Ricketts as Loki.
Okay.
Because he's typically done kind of more funny stuff, but I would like to see him in a more serious role, and I think he definitely has that mischievous energy. So to go off of that, I kind of went more like, what would I have wanted to see from like a traditional God of Thunder? So I went with Oak.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when I Google that, I'm not getting the results I want. So give me something long. Like, can you give me a specific reference that I can use to get a decent photo?
Of who?
Your pick for Thor. You said Oak?
Thor? Oh, yeah, he's in Hamilton.
He's in Hamilton. So if I put Oak...
He's Hercules Mulligan.
So why when it didn't come out? Hold on. Oh my god, it's literally a typo. I was like, y'all, I'm tired tonight. I should not be trying to do 12 things at once. Here we go.
You can't find Oak?
No, it's because I spelled his name wrong. And I was like, this is not the man in question. We got him. We got him, kids. We did it. Yes. And I'm going to put Noah Ricketts as your Loki pick.
Yes.
All right, we got him. I think he's a great choice for Loki in a serious production. Absolutely. But sticking with the Thor theme. Someone who I think really encapsulates, like, when I think of traditional, like, Nordic mythology and I think of like the strength of Thor, like your mind can't not go to Ben Platt, right? Like that's I couldn't even finish my joke.
I told her earlier I was just gonna stick Ben Platt everywhere. Like anytime one came up, I was gonna be like, shawarma guy, Ben Platt.
So Ben Platt is my pick for Thor. I think if this musical's going down, then like let him go down with the ship, right? Like I'm gonna take a photo of him in a tree from Dear Evan Hansen. That's good. This is my pick for Thor, the mightiest man.
I think Ben Platt is an especially good choice when the character he's playing is supposed to be like 12. So if the shawarma guy is like an underage worker, I think that he would also be good for that.
Yeah. All right. And he'd ask for a lot of money to do it too. So like I think it all works out, right? So that's my pick. We have Jordan Fisher as Steve, and we have Ben Platt as Thor, the mightiest man of the galaxy. The king saying Ben Platt can play old man Steve Rogers in Endgame.
It's funny because it's true.
It is true. A great suggestion, Jeff Blim for Thor. 1,000%. And if we have other suggestions coming in, please feel free to drop them. Yes, I think Jeff Blim's a way better pick than Ben Platt. Ben Platt looks like Steve got Benjamin Button. A tragedy. But listen, it's the multiverse. Everything is possible, right? Like, so on to the low budget version of Thor. Do we have any thoughts of who fits the bill?
I feel like it's got to be someone in like an atrocious like Party City muscle suit.
Yes.
Like the stock photo for Thor, right?
Yeah.
Like find the man that was paid $12 to wear the Thor costume for Party City and put him on stage, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find one.
Whatever the like off-brand name for a Thor costume is.
This guy. Oh, I know. I found the perfect guy. A man with no acting experience. Just bring Random Man 3 in to play the God of Lightning. This guy. Oh he could be Thor. He could be Thor.
I feel like the other funny way to go with that would be to like get like a bodybuilder that had no like acting experience. Like, the Arnold Schwarzenegger of like the Planet Fitness. That is who I want to play Thor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Body building stock photo. Hold on. I'm going to find one. I don't know who this man is, but he was result number 5. So, result number 5, congratulations. I kid you not.
Good. Yeah.
That's exactly what you had in mind, right, Alexa?
Yeah, that was, yep.
Amazing.
But like he can't have any acting talent. He just has to like he has to like go up on a line and then repeat it, right? Like I want that kind of energy.
Yep. I really like this comment from Jack. You could do Avatar: The Last Airbender type thing for Thor and cast like a little girl. I think that's brilliant. And it's kind of giving me Loki variant energy as well, right? Like an alligator could be Loki. Like who's to say? I love that. Lauren Lopez coming up again. I agree. Thunder
Deity. Can do anything.
Yeah.
Thunder Deity.
So I'm going to be consistent, and I'm going to just say Ben Platt could also do the low budget version of Thor. But I would say like Ben Platt, but like in this costume. Like he doesn't get any of the Thor costumes. He gets like the hammer from his dad's shed. That is our Thor. Yeah. And with that, we're going to move on to Tony Stark. This is a really interesting pick in terms of, he wasn't front, middle on stage. It's Rogers the musical. So maybe you're looking at like someone who's got like a low level villainous story arc to them and nemesis type story arc to them, but not the biggest villain in the show, just someone a little antagonistic. Marissa, do you have any thoughts?
Okay. He's meant for roles larger than this.
Okay.
But I feel very confident about Norbert Leo Butz.
Oh yeah.
Like we get like a young Fierro as Steve and like an OG Fierro as Tony, and I feel like that's like a great butting head situation. And I did also write Christian Borle down. But just because I can only see him in something wrong.
No.
It's just Christian Borle as Shakespeare.
Does have very like It's so hard to be me energy. Yeah.
Agreed. So let's just say I like this. I think he could be high budget Steve Rogers by night and low budget high budget Tony Stark by night and low budget Steve Rogers by afternoon show.
Yeah.
Right? Who's to say he can't be the lead off Broadway in a like $20 costume and then like head over to
like something he would do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very on brand.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I love that. And I would love to see him in the Tony Stark class. It's like, look at that face. Get some big shades on there. Would love to see it. I also really would like to imagine like a really short Iron Man suit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's built proportion. It's not like he's getting in the suit and the suit's making him bigger. No. This thing is small.
Yeah. Tiny.
It's good. All right, Alexis, your turn. Who's your pick for Mr. Tony Stark?
I didn't have a Tony. The thing that I got stuck on was that I felt like if I was doing like a Tony Stark musical, which I would never do, but if I was, and it was going to be like dark and gritty, then I knew who I would cast. I would probably go with like a Leslie Odom Jr. for that.
Oh yeah.
But in regards to like this type of musical, where I feel like he's just supposed to be more like antagonistic to Steve and like one-liners, I came up with nothing.
That's fair. We'll put Leslie Odom Jr. for the fun of it, since that's the name that came out. Marissa, I would love to hear your thoughts on Leslie Odom Jr. as Tony.
That would be amazing. I thought of him and his sort of like prowess as Aaron Burr, but I just felt like it was like a downgrade to put him as Tony in a musical about Steve. I feel like anybody that I came up with for Tony, it was really hard. I was like, all of these people are too good for this.
Yep.
Well, then I feel like Tony in this musical doesn't have a lot of nuance. And I think Leslie Odom Jr. like thrives on nuance. So it's, but.
Yep. No, I'm with you. I have a pick, a serious pick. Put Ali Stroker as Tony Stark.
Put Ali Stroker as everyone.
It's true. She's also she's doing the one-woman show by night and Lauren Lopez is doing the one-woman show by afternoon. Yes, absolutely. Hold on. Let me get Allie in here. I would love to see a female take on the narcissism of Tony Stark and do it justice. So that's where I'm coming from in my casting choice for this. And I would love to see a nemesis Tony Stark that's got like big femme energy. I think that would be a great show. Yes. And it would add a lot to Steve Rogers as a character, I think.
And there's thousands of pages of fan fiction written just like that Marvel could just lift. So it
copy and paste.
It works. I've seen those summaries.
Yep. You've done your homework,
I've seen them. Whether I want to or not, they exist.
Yep. So suggestion coming in from Gabriel Hyman from Hamilton for Tony Stark. That's a really interesting choice. That I didn't think of that at all. Mm-mm. Any reaction? No.
I think all of Clyde's choices are great, but
I'll get a photo. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, my typing's a little on the slow side. This guy. 1 second. It's coming. 1 second. This man. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
So I'll pop him in here. Just add him to the list. No, in a very low budget situation. Afternoon showing Tony Stark. Who are we pulling in from the wings?
I feel like it would be like first job out of college.
Yes.
Like the one straight boy in the musical theater program.
Yeah. Stock photo. Theater.
Please put stock photo of
University.
the one straight guy in the musical theater program.
I will. Stock photo. University kid. Hold on. University. I have to put student. Straight. That's what I googled. I'm getting chairs, like empty chairs, which is very accurate. And then there's some photos from Wicked. Stock photo. Theater student. Theater. Okay, hold on. It's gonna take a minute to really find the right energy of what we're looking for here.
I mean, I know who I would choose from my real life, but I don't want to like put them on blast.
Would you like to call them out?
That's right. I'm like, please don't pull up somebody I know.
This guy.
Oh, that's really good.
That's
That's
good,
really
right?
good.
him. That's
And
him.
the blank page.
I
That's
know 12
really,
of him. That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like who I see in my head.
Yeah. Alexis, who would you like to pull?
See, I didn't do good with this low budget thing. I took this from like not low budget, but like needs a thinks it may be good for their repertoire of work. Wouldn't get this opportunity. Would probably get this opportunity otherwise, but like I don't know. I just think Dominic Cooper needs to play Tony Stark, and I feel like it's the type of ridiculous energy that I want. So
Dominic Cooper,
That's
that's
really good.
That's a choice, man. And like, let's not throw shade around Dominic Cooper. He's got a Tony Stark, and I just found a photo of him in glasses. Perfect. He's got Tony Stark energy.
I feel like Dominic Cooper and Christian Borle. That's a pair you need on stage.
That's Tony Stark energy. Am I right? Look at that man.
More people need to be celebrating young Howard Stark, everyone. More people need to be
Amen.
celebrating him.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Agent Carter, Howard Stark. That's
He's the best part of that show.
Yeah, absolutely.
No lies
I agree
detected.
with you. So we have some comments coming in that y'all are stealing my idea, which means we're all on the same wavelength, and I love it. About who the low budget Tony Stark would be. Keeg reading my mind. The guy who played Batman in Star Kid. His name is Joe Walker. Joe Walker is a treasure. He played Voldemort in the Harry Potter musicals. He also played Umbridge. He is very, very funny. I'm trying to find a photo that gives a little bit of.
I just liked the way you said that.
Which part of that did you enjoy?
You said it like you knew him personally.
I
You were
do.
like, Joe Walker.
Very personal to me. This is our Tony Stark, everyone.
I'm here for it.
I think this is the kind of Tony that I'd like to see explored. There's a universe where Tony Stark is like a musical theater major. There has to be. Everything is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he takes his talents and he says, "No, Dad, I'm not going into the sciences. I am dedicating my life to jazz."
No, Dad, that's your dream.
What if
Tony
went to
Stark
Juilliard?
Is Marvel watching? Can you take notes, please?
I also feel like that is the type of what if energy everyone wanted anyway.
It's true. This is what everyone asked for from Marvel, and they gave us instead Killmonger having a different but same villainous arc. So I just want to say quickly, for those of you watching with us on TikTok, come join the party on YouTube and Twitch, and you can see the full fan casting happening live. We're picking our actors. We're picking our Star Kid actors to play the Avengers, play Marvel characters in Rogers, the musical. You can find the link in my bio on my profile. I think Alexis has it on hers as well, and you'll be able to come watch our fan casting live. And the results are in. That's the what if we need. Tony Stark going to Juilliard. Absolutely. It looks like Dominic Cooper just ate a lemon. let me just like zoom back in on this photo so everyone can get a real good look. You're not wrong.
Yeah, he does. And I think he's trying to make a sexy face. Like, I don't think it's supposed to be a lemon face.
Smizing.
Yeah. It's giving me bad martini. It's giving me sour lemon. Right. It's giving me first red carpet. And then you have on the other end also the exact same energy, sour lemon, situation.
All I am now thinking of is a bunch of Tony Starks dancing to like Fame.
I can't.
You're
It's
welcome.
So good. I love it. Keep your comments coming. Keep your suggestions coming of who you would cast in these musicals that are absolutely going to get us blacklisted from Marvel. And
I'm already blacklisted from Marvel.
Yeah,
I'm out. I'm way out. I'm like
we're
out of
already
Disney.
out.
Yeah, exactly. Like
We're on the do not call list for any of the time. Okay, let's talk about this character. Now, the issue in the trailer with this character, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so you can see, is that it's very vague, like what's happening with this costuming. We don't get like a lot of hints. So for the purposes of this game, we're going to assume this is Bruce Banner because of like the lab coat. Now, this could be a different character, and that's fine. But this is a game, and we don't need to think seriously about this. We just need to have fun with all of us here hanging out together on live. So let's think Bruce Banner on Broadway. Who would play the mad scientist? Marissa, do you have any thoughts?
Again, I think he's too good for this role because it's going to be a very small role. Like there's not that much that Bruce can do in a show about Steve. But my immediate correlation would be Brian Darcy James.
See, that's what I said.
But I feel like that's disrespectful to Brian Darcy James.
Is it?
I mean, it depends on which Brian Darcy James, I feel like.
There's nothing wrong with Bruce Banner.
Oh my God. He was painted green every night when he did Shrek. I'm a genius.
Oh my God.
Perfect.
So he's already like qualified.
Yeah.
We already know he's probably got like supply left over at home from like his green
That feels
paint
like a
days.
choice, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to agree with that for your choice, Alexis, or do you?
No, that's what I had.
That's who you had. All right, so we'll just copy and paste, easy peasy. For my Bruce Banner, I could not think of anyone specifically for my serious casting. I had a lot more fun thinking about my off-Broadway low-budget cast than I did my serious Broadway cast. I would like to see like Lin-Manuel Miranda painted green just for like my own like karma pleasure. But I'm not going to put that on the board because his face isn't going to make this cut. So let's move on to our low-budget casting here. Do we have ideas for who we would want to play Bruce?
I feel like the low budget version of Bruce would be completely unhinged. And so to
that's
me,
a good take.
That is, oh my God, wait, I'm blanking on his name. This is so upsetting to me.
It's all good.
Jeff Blim.
Jeff Blim.
Yes. Yes.
I love it. Hold on, I'm gonna get a good photo of him. This is a good one. I don't know what he has on his head though. Oh, the YouTube video. I can't download that. Okay, I think he's holding bagpipes in this picture.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
That's it. That's what
that works. That works for me.
That's now canon, by the way.
That Bruce plays bagpipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are bagpipes, I think, right?
There are no bagpipes in that picture.
It looks like it to me. Is he not?
That is Miss Reith. He is wearing
oh my God. Okay,
a tactical
vest.
He has a tactical vest to go with his tactical dance pants.
I love it.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say, you know what? I was squinting. My screen's very small, but for the purposes of this show now, Alexis just made it canon that Bruce Banner plays
they're
bagpipes.
bagpipes. There's no back from that.
I love it. Mandy Patinkin for Serious Bruce. That's really interesting.
Wow.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I love that. Green would be perfect.
Wow.
Ben Fankhauser for Banner.
Ben Fankhauser would be great, but he would have to like be throwing in riffs everywhere. That's what I want from Ben Fankhauser is riffs.
Chris Allen for comedic Bruce.
Yeah.
That's a choice. Absolutely. I would like everyone's help in remembering. Like, this is so funny in my head, but I cannot remember what they're called. It's driving me crazy. Do you know when you go to like a car dealership and there's like those blow up guys in the wind that are like, woo. That's who I would like to put on stage as Bruce Banner.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like when he turns into the Hulk, like you hear like the air pump turn on and he just like blows up. And that's Hulk on stage, like cause it. And everyone can just like run around and be like, oh no, the Hulk.
Yeah. I think that's.
But what are they called? Because I can't find a photo because I can't think of what they're called.
I don't know that I've ever known their names.
Yeah, I don't think that they're called anything
Now I
other
will
than
drive
the
by
big
and I
blow
will
up
name
guys.
all of them. Yeah.
Blow
I'll be
up,
Bob,
like
Mandy.
anyone in the
Joe.
comments know what we're referring to?
Is there an official title for that?
I feel like the Keeg is gonna know. I feel like
Yeah.
that's where it's gonna.
I think there's like a slight delay, so we'll just give it a second. Maybe somebody will think of what it's like a blow up. I can only do like, if I
will
could Google
continue
this.
to act it out for you.
If we could all Google this simultaneously, we would absolutely find it. But they're blow up. What are they called?
It's
Blow
funny.
up.
I have the TikTok live open on my phone
Wacky,
next to my screen,
waving,
and there's such a
inflatable
delay
guy.
that it'll be like a full wave between you and the stream and you on the live.
I love. Wait, Alexis, let's try this. Ready?
What are we doing?
Woo. Do the wave. Woo.
Oh.
Is it working? Is that
I've
what
got
you
it, guys.
meant?
Oh, it just happened.
Oh, we have
I don't wave. My
wacky
body doesn't move like that.
inflatable. Wacky inflatable. Can you come closer? My off-camera support has just figured out what I'm referring to. It's a wacky it's a wacky inflatable guy. I got it. And I think wacky waving inflatable arm flailing.
I told you. Did I not say? It was correct.
I am very appreciative of
That
everyone's
felt like
help.
Keeg knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really glad we all came together on that very important point. This is perfect. Hold on. When you see the photo, it's going to make perfect sense.
It already makes perfect sense.
It's true, but this is adding.
It's brilliant.
Tell me that's not the Hulk.
Yep.
Tell me
Yep.
this is Bruce Banner. I've never seen a more. Could you? I just want to take a moment and talk about
want to see me when I'm angry.
He's walking away. That's my secret cap. I'm always angry. And then you just see her.
Oh, I can't. That's so funny. Could you imagine this cast on stage? Jordan Fisher, Ben Platt, Joe Walker, and
But I feel like he always has to be a 3-second delay, right? Because it's like some poor dancer is also in charge of the inflatable guy.
he's got like the arms on sticks and he's like trying to like.
She's like pirouetting to the inflatable guy, so it's on like a 4-minute delay.
Yeah. No, this is good. This is really good. I skipped you, Alexis. Do you have a suggestion for Bruce Banner? Yes. Okay.
Yes, I did. And I don't feel like anybody is going to understand. So just, kind of squint your eyes, lean to the left a little bit. Darren Criss, I think, needs to play Bruce Banner.
No, I understand completely.
Brilliant.
I need that.
Absolutely. Aaron Criss. That is the choice. Wait, but I would like him in a specific Met Gala outfit. Let me find it. The one that I would like him to play the Hulk in this outfit.
Oh no.
Is it the gold one?
Yes, it is. With the nice makeup.
With the Yep.
This.
Yep. Done.
Yeah, that is
Correct.
Hulk.
Good choice.
You don't want to see him when he's angry. I'm gonna have to like crop this so we can actually see his face a little bit. Oh, I put him in the wrong column. Sorry, he goes over here. This is good. I like this.
Now
This is
I'm
great.
feeling very much like, what if Bruce Banner went to Juilliard?
What if Bruce Banner and Tony Stark met at Juilliard?
That, I guarantee you that is a fanfic.
Someone write it if it does not
Someone has
already
written
exist.
I feel like the world would be a much better place if that were true.
Yeah. Endgame would never have happened. They could have solved all of their problems with jazz.
Ultron never would have happened.
Period. Ultron would have been created and would have been like, it's fine.
I feel like
You are
Ultron
no
would have
threat.
been some ticked off actor they didn't cast. Right? Like Mandarin from Iron Man 3 style. I feel like that would be our Ultron story.
Yep. I really want to pull in a comment from Twitch. Your little dance did it. I know what you're talking about. So I'm really glad that our artistic interpretation of the wacky inflatable guy is what clued everyone in. This is really great. Thank you, everyone, for your contributions to figuring out what we were talking about. That was really a team effort.
I also want to think that somebody just scrolled through and without any context saw the inflatable.
Y'all know this. It's perfect. It's great. Okay, let's move on to Loki. In a serious Broadway production, Marissa, who is your Loki?
Okay. Okay. I could go two directions.
Two directions.
My
Let's
gut.
hear it.
Well, when Liz was pitching this to us, she was like, think expansive. It can be anyone you want. Like, don't just look for the Tom Hiddleston copy. And I was like, great. Sierra Renee.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I felt really good about that one.
Yep.
That is a good one. Hold on. Sierra.
But then I also thought about like who I would have as like the Tom Hiddleston copy. But we don't have to talk about that because I feel really good about Sierra Renee.
No, well, let's hear the Tom Hiddleston copy as well.
Okay, well, if we were going like deep, dark, angsty, I thought like an Alex Boniello.
Yeah.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Or like I could see Reeve Carney, but he might be a little too weird for me. Sorry, Reeve Carney, but
I'm trying to.
You're a little weird.
There we go. That's like the first photo that came up. That works though.
That's great.
And then we have Alexis's choice, which I think is very strong. So I think that like there's a world where Idina Menzel plays Loki.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for sure. And I think that like that would be great. But I think the better casting choice is Kristen Chenoweth.
Yes.
Like we know Idina Menzel could play Loki. Like of course she could. But like Kristen Chenoweth as Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1,000%. To me, that's like, and I'm gonna find a photo of her. If you've watched the new show, Sprigadoon. Is that what it's called?
Schmigadoon.
Thank you, Schmigadoon.
Everybody should watch Schmigadoon. It's so good.
It's so a great show if you love Broadway. And she played this really interesting character. So I'm going to put a photo of her character from that show into the fan cast so people can really get a sense of the vibe. Or maybe not if the photo won't download. Oh, there it is. This. Imagine that anger. I love it. Maybe like don't give her that outfit again. Like give her something different. But that's my Loki. I also think that Tom Hiddleston could come in and play Loki himself, and like we would hear him sing, and it would be great.
Yes.
Yeah. Key gratefully calling out how many DC CW actors we've invited into this fan casting. I'm gonna ban you. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna ban you, but you're completely correct.
I think there are more. I think I have more.
Keep them coming.
Marissa's like, is that a challenge?
Let's get every single one of them in.
I do. I have it. Oh, I have two more. I have two more at least.
I love it. This is incredible. I love Matt Damon as Loki. That's a great. Let's put him in the low budget version.
Yeah,
Matt Damon
have
off
a TikTok
Broadway.
friend saying that Donald Glover needs to be Loki.
That would be awesome.
Incredible. Donald Glover as Loki. That is an incredible, incredible choice. Wow. I love that. Do you want to put Donald Glover on your list?
Yes.
I will add him to the board. Hold on here. My computer's like, you're trying to do too many things at once.
Gosh.
Donald Glover. I'm going to get a photo of him from Star Wars. I just really enjoyed the mustache he had going in Star Wars. Yeah, here he is. Shout out to Donald Glover. Thank you for like making great art. Someday he's going to star in a Broadway show for real, and it's going to be the end of the world, I think. Yeah. Everyone is going to feel so inferior in their talents because he can do anything he wants.
And look at that face. That's a good Loki face.
Yeah. I'm going to put him over here.
Okay.
I
also feel like in a low budget, this is going to... I also feel like in a low budget version of this show, Tom Hiddleston would also play Loki. Like, I feel like he's the type of guy that would be like, oh, I have the free time.
And he loves Loki so much that he'd be like, you know what? Yes. Why not? Absolutely. Alan Cumming is Loki. Yeah, I can see that. Alex Bonello, but specifically happy Bonnie, not depressing Bonnie. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Clyde put some work into these.
Clyde sent me the full
good
list.
takes.
An incredible take. She has a really great one for Natasha. So I want to let's just leave Loki unless we have any other ideas for low budget Loki.
I do, and I feel very strongly.
Okay, let's hear it. The floor is yours.
Robert Mannion.
Incredible. That's why we invited you on this show. Robert.
Thank you very much.
How do you spell his last name?
Ion.
Okay,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it did. Okay, let's find a photo. Trying to find a decent photo of the guy. No, he's a great choice. And he's really got the right vibe, I think, for it. Hold on. Photo coming. 1 second, please. My internet's slow. Does that work?
Yep, that's great.
Correct. Okay, here he is. No, this is solid. This is like a solid lineup. And I think he really balances out Party City Thor and stock photo theater guy.
And wacky inflatable.
Dude. And wacky inflatable. Yeah. It's like, it's all coming together here. I had a Loki choice that I told Alexis before the show, and I don't remember it now.
I can't remember who it was. I can't remember what you told me, and I don't think
I'm never going to know.
If I think of it, we'll come back to it. The CW's got to commit and make a fully musical superhero show already. I agree. I mean, look at what they did with Riverdale. Give me that, but Marvel characters.
Oh,
please.
God.
I feel like it would just be John Barrowman playing everyone, though. Like, this CW superhero musical is just John Barrowman in multiple costumes. That's all it is.
Yep.
They're doing a Next to Normal episode of...
Was she supposed to go away?
She left! Anyway, we're doing a Next to Normal episode of Riverdale, and it's going to murder me. Welcome back, Liz.
Thank you. We're not going to talk about what just happened because it's fine. I just accidentally hit the wrong button, and all of a sudden my screen was like completely gone. I was like, oh, that's good.
I wish you could have seen the fear on my face. Like, I was like, a poor mission. I am going to take a second to tell my wonderful TikTok friends that we're also over on Twitch and YouTube because I've had a bunch of people pop up.
Yes,
and if you come watch us there, you can see Marissa. So
Marissa's here. She was supposed to be on TikTok with us too, and it did not. Didn't quite work out. We started playing a game instead. It was very confusing. You had to be here. But we are all hanging out on YouTube and Twitch at Stark Radio Show. Producer Liz, you can find us live on both platforms. Link in my bio or Alexis's. And thank you to everyone that's watching on TikTok and hanging out with us. We're having such a good time tonight. And for everyone watching on YouTube and Twitch and that stuck around, this is incredible. Lizzie O saying RIP to I think me disappearing a few seconds ago. Absolutely. That's exactly how I felt.
From the middle. Alexis
was like, I don't know how to man a show. You all would have been live for like 12 hours.
It's raining here, and there was like a big thunder noise, and then you left, and I was like, what just happened? Was it me?
The watcher was like, I hate your choices. Like, stop the show.
I log on successfully every week. Like this is was not gonna go well.
Oh, this is so funny. Okay. So we have a stacked like first half of the cast. For the second half of the cast, let's like be a little more speedy with it. I'll stop Googling photos of people. We'll go as fast as we can. Shawarma guy is on this list, but let's like come back to that conversation because Alexis and I have a lot of thoughts on casting the shawarma person.
Many thoughts.
I'm so proud. I'm just seeing some people from TikTok found their way to the YouTube stream. I'm so proud. Welcome to the YouTube gang. Keegs got it right. This episode needs more likes on YouTube. If you're watching, I don't want to be one of those people that's like, hit that like button and subscribe. But I mean, like, you could if you wanted to. If this is the video that gets us to 350 followers or subscribers, I would lose my mind because this is so chaotic. Thank you to Melody. Thank you for being my entertainment for the evening. Have a great night. Thank you so much for letting us be your entertainment. entertainment.
I love you, Melody. That's my best friend.
I love that.
Oh,
Shout out to the bestie Melody. Thank you for watching.
hey Danielle, you made it over. Hey. Okay.
We have some requests for Danielle asking if if a direction role is open, and then Kalai also chiming in about choreography. We are like, for the low budget production, we only want the best, but for the Broadway performance, only Marvel fans can be involved in the production of that musical. That's my opinion. Lin-Manuel Miranda can do off-Broadway. I am directing, or we all communally are going to direct the on-Broadway Rogers the Musical, and we'll do a way better job, my opinion. Give us the money, Disney. We'll make it happen. But I digress. Let's talk about who else we have on this list. So if you're just joining us, here's what you missed over the past however long we've been doing this. Our fan cast for Rogers the Musical is well underway. Let's talk about Natasha next. We won't do photos for this round. Who do we have in our lineups for Natasha on an on-Broadway performance?
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Go.
Krista Rodriguez.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good one.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Alexis?
I went with Jasmine Cephas Jones from Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love that. Oh, my God. Her name literally just slipped my mind. Hold on.
We can do this.
Oh, my God. Hold on. Y'all talk about something else while I try and figure out who I am.
Okay. People in the comments want to know if we're going to talk about Bucky. I will insist that we talk about Bucky.
Of course we're going to talk about Bucky. Literally before this started, I was like, Bucky's on the list, right?
Yeah. Bucky was the first person I cast. I was like, I've got it.
Okay, I found it. Katrina Lenk from the band's visit. Yes. I could think of her. Yes. I had it on my list. I had her in my head. And then as soon as I went to say it, it was like all of the words left me. But Katrina Lenk is my Natasha for sure.
Katrina Lenk went to my high school.
Stop. My queen.
There's a fly. I also had the same voice teacher for a while as Philippa Sue. I could keep going.
Keep going.
I hate you. And Liz is like, go.
Also, the author of the Divergent series went to my high school.
What high school did you go to?
I'm not going to expose myself.
No.
A very rich high school.
I love that. Hold on. I love the comments coming in. I'm seeing some about the shawarma guy casting. We're going to talk about the shawarma casting in a moment here.
And I'm very passionate about the Chitauri casting, so we have to get there.
Okay, absolutely. Okay. We will do that for sure.
Opinions on that.
Catherine Gallagher for Nat. I think that's a good choice.
That is a good choice.
Yeah. I like how we're all in agreement that like the Natasha strong female trope, like 1000% needs to be like recognized and played by someone who will have a very prominent role in this musical, and we'll do Natasha the justice that we've been waiting for in the MCU. Not to put words in your mouth, y'all can disagree with me, but I'm just saying that's kind of where I'm at.
100%. What if there was representation in Marvel? I'm sorry.
Women had personalities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, so in a low budget musical, so for those of you that have just joined us, when we talk low budget, we're talking like Star Kid, we're talking like what we saw in the trailer in terms of a costume budget type production. To give you a sense, these were some of our choices. We have everything from Ben Platt to stock photo Party City Thor. We have a lot of Star Kid folks in here. Met Gala Darren Criss, inflatable guy from the car dealership. So who's playing Natasha in our low budget version of this performance of Rogers the Musical?
I feel like this is just me. I feel like it would be a girl that could do the splits and like nothing else. She's just like, she's got a high kick and that's it.
She's got a high kick and so like this is not to downplay these women because they're incredible. But I'm thinking like all of the Rockettes, like all of them simultaneously.
But like even less personality than that.
Okay.
Just like no stage presence, just flexible.
Right. Their only personality traits that they can do a split at any moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I love that. Alexis, who's your choice?
See, this is when I took it vaguely more seriously, and
Okay.
this is where I put Lauren Lopez.
Okay. Sure. Why not? Absolutely. I agree with you. And like Lauren Lopez is correct for every single role on either side. So you're 100% I'm with you. For me, Natasha is like, you know how everyone had like a Sharpay Evans that they went to high school with? So like whoever your local Sharpay Evans was, that's who's playing Natasha in this musical based on where you are in the world. Yeah. It's that girl. This is her role. And
I feel like that girl is also the one that can do the high kick but has no personality. I think it's the same person.
Where it's the Venn diagram is a circle.
Yeah.
Great question from Danielle in the chat that I would really like to address. Y'all make me smile. How often do y'all do this? Great question. Let me tell you what we're doing. Let me plug what's happening real quick. Y'all are watching a mess of an episode that I'm loving called Stark Radio. Alexis and I go live every Friday and we recap the What If series, and we have very chaotic conversations about representation, bad writing, plumbing, interns, yes, WTF moments of the week in Marvel. We've had special guests join us, and tonight Marissa's joining us as we're talking about Rogers the musical on Broadway. And Marissa, if we have not scared you away, you're absolutely welcome back for future episodes. Marissa's like, I'm never going to speak to y'all again.
No, this is amazing. I'm having the best time.
Amazing. This is great. So if y'all want to come back every week, here's what you can do for reminders. I always have an event up on my TikTok for the next show, so you can turn on notifications there. You can, if you subscribe, obviously you get notifications. And then on my Instagram, there's always notifications you can turn on as well for when we start the live shows on Fridays. So you can come back every week at 8 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok Live. And we are here hanging out, having a good time. We'll get to Clint. Everyone with the Clint love in the chat, we'd love to see it. And I know that we have a lot of strong opinions around Clint and representation, and I'm going to be so excited when we get to that point of the conversation. And he's next on our list. But before we get to Clint, I do want to talk about this mystery. And we talked a little bit about this before we started the live shows. We were trying to figure out what approach to take for this man.
New York friend.
New York man won in the New York I Love New York shirt.
You can tell because, like all New Yorkers, he is in an I Love New York shirt.
And he's so prominently displayed in the scene.
Yes.
What is he doing there?
See, I thought that when I first saw it, my first glance through, I was like, oh, that's Coulson. I don't know why, but that was where my head went.
No, it's a perfect thought. And I had a similar thought. I thought maybe Coulson. I'm trying to scroll up. There was a comment that came earlier from one of you watching. So please restate. Oh, it was the key. If you look at character placement during that number, the I Heart New York guy is on the other side of Steve. So it seems like there could also be civilian characters involved, right? Certainly could be like just like random civilian, like someone in the chorus or whatnot, or perhaps it's a moment like in Hamilton where you have the actor that plays the bullet, right? They're technically part of the ensemble, but they're playing like an important piece of the show. But I don't understand how an important piece of the show could also wear an I Heart New York t-shirt, which defeats that whole theory. But regardless, do we have any
part of the show is also wearing a green hoodie?
Supposedly. I'm really just interested, like if you look at this guy and then you look at Clint, right? It looks like he had some budget. This man
Clint
did.
Looks good.
He's out here doing the damn thing. And then you have
I still need badly for Clint Barton to actually be Clint Barton, and this to be some sort of farce where he has to run across the theater to escape bad guys and ends up in the show. I need it very badly.
Yeah.
So you want that to be Jeremy Renner?
No, it's done. Alexis, don't say
because I have a very serious pick for Clint.
Okay.
I'm proud of my Clint choice.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Clint choices then. Let's just go right into it. Who's your Clint choice?
Sandra Mae Frank.
Yeah.
Oh.
Incredible.
I'm just going to shut up now because that's perfect.
Did we make Marissa speechless? What? I want to talk about... Well, what was that?
I don't know if it was thunder or a car or something, but it was loud and it's outside my window.
The fun of a live show. We'll all be witnesses to whatever happens next.
Yeah.
A live stream. We love to see it. I want to defer over to Cly for a moment here. Cly is like very big. If you're not following Cly on TikTok, please do. They're suggesting Joshua Castile would be the perfect Clint.
That's also a good one.
I think that's a good one for sure. Yes, 100%. What if musical Clint was a puppet?
There should be a puppet somewhere in here.
Giving me the same energy as like inflatable guy, but I'd love to see it. Like, but maybe it's like maybe it's like an old version from Sesame Street. Like, you know how they have to like make new puppets every once in a while, like upkeep them. Like maybe they got like a secondhand Sesame Street puppet and then gave it a bow and arrow, and that's Clint.
Clint Barton. Clint. We were all thinking it, okay?
I love it. I'm just reading the comments. Cly's saying, if anyone other than the one deaf guy, I'd be so down. If it was anyone other than the one deaf guy, I'd be so down for a puppet. Absolutely. Let's give some representation in this cast and stay true. Oh, hold on. Oh my God. I literally almost exited out of the stream a second time. I saw it about to happen and I stopped it. That would have been disastrous. As I'm trying to say how representation is important, I just like, but no, it's fine. We made it. Whoa. Now my anxiety is like way up there. I thought I was going to disappear. But yes, representation is important. And if the musical is going to happen, let's make it more inclusive and diverse than anything the MCU's given us. So maybe give the puppet to like this man. Yeah.
Agreed.
Put a puppet in an iHeart. And then, you know, when they're doing the Battle of New York, they can just have like a pile of puppets and there could be like an explosion sound and someone can just like throw them all up in the air and be like, oh, no.
But it's the same person operating Inflatable Hulk. So there's another delay.
I love it. And then maybe like that person's also wearing tap shoes for like Natasha's tap number that happened a few scenes ago.
Oh,
so it's
Natasha has to have a tap number. Yes. Yeah, well, yes. I now need that more badly than I need air. Yes.
Yeah. No, 1,000%. Natasha's got a tap number. We're going to talk about Bucky because we have some big thoughts around Bucky. But is there anyone else we would want to cast as Clint in the non-serious or serious roles? Did we cover all our bases? Going once, going twice. Okay, we'll leave Clint there. Okay. Let's have a conversation about Shawarma Guy. Okay. This is perhaps the most pivotal role in the musical, more important than Steve Rogers, more important than Bucky. It is who is playing the man serving the shawarma, and how often is that person changing in actor, right? Like how many backup shawarma guys do we cast in this role? So Marissa, do you have any thoughts to start us off?
No.
Okay, that's great.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the whole shawarma thing's really stupid.
Gee.
Like from the beginning, I've been like, why is that as big as it is? Like, why are there 3 shawarma carts at Avengers Campus? Why is that the joke that won't die?
It's true.
I'm sorry. True. I'm so sorry.
No, you're allowed to have your hot takes on this show. I had a hot take last week that I still am getting comments of people roasting me over it on my TikTok.
I don't remember your hot take.
I'm not gonna repeat it because
I don't remember
about Spider-Man and about Andrew Garfield.
Oh, but I thought
I had a hot take.
I was there for that
one. You were, and you roasted me in the comments, rightfully so. I have a hot take, and I'm the only person with this. I think maybe Cly agreed with me. My opinion was that I think that Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker and Zendaya's MJ would be a very interesting pair if they existed at the same time.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Marissa.
Okay, who are you going to cast as the shawarma guy?
Yes. Okay, I have a theory about this. I'm going to jump in, Alexis, but I think we had the same thought, so please play off me here.
We're of one mind. Yes.
This is a combined Alexis and Liz special. So we have a theory.
From the makers of the plumbing segment and the intern of the week. comes
We give
the
you.
shawarma guy.
So, show of hands, and everybody commenting, I would like to see a show of hands. Who is familiar with the Hamilton ticket lottery? The Hamilton ticket lottery, if you don't know, if you want tickets to Hamilton because they're so hard to get, you can enter a lottery, and some people are picked for every show based on like the number of seats available. So, keeping the spirit of that in mind, an interchangeable shawarma guy is a very interesting take, and we have a couple different ways of approaching it. Alexis, would you like to give one take on how it could work?
One take was everyone that auditioned and didn't get cast gets a different night as shawarma guy. But I would like to add, I think they are now in charge of the puppet pile and inflatable Hulk as well. It's a trifecta.
Absolutely. Oh, we have some people knowing what we're referring to here. Lizzie O saying she won the Hamilton ticket lottery. Absolutely. Good for you. That's really hard to win, so that's fantastic. Clyde, I think I see what you're going for. Danielle is here with us too, saying yes. Okay. Oh, hold on. We need to revisit. Danielle is saying, Sassy Peter with the blunt of MJ. I love that. Thank you for understanding what I'm going for with this. That is my point. Their dynamic would be okay. I'm gonna let it die for a few minutes. I'm gonna compose myself, and we're gonna go back to shawarma guy now.
You also had a good shawarma guy take, though. That was
I do. My shawarma guy take is that you walk outside the theater and you grab the collar of the nearest shawarma cart and just pull that person into the theater and put them on stage and ask them to just do their job. Just continue, bring your cart, just sell on stage to the actors. We'll tip well. So let it be someone random every night. Mm-hmm. Real authentic New York street food entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And then also, yeah, go ahead.
Well, you could also do the what is their show called? The Nick Kroll, John Mulaney. Oh, hello. Oh, you could do the oh hello move, and it'd be a different like audience member every day.
Yes. Yeah. And that was exactly like you pick a different audience member. That was kind of what I was thinking with the Hamilton lottery. Like they would establish some kind of website or app where you register interest in being shawarma guy / person
/ and then inflatable Hulk operator.
A lot of responsibility.
A lot of blocking.
Puppet pile person.
Yeah. The King saying, what if Lin-Manuel Miranda saying shawarma? Like
it's a good joke.
What if it just is Lin-Manuel Miranda?
Oh my gosh. That's the same energy as like the ice cream truck cameo.
I can't. Oh, the thought that literally just, I saw that so perfectly in my head. I can't explain. Like, if it's like
Lin-Manuel Miranda is now the shawarma guy.
Yes, Lin-Manuel Miranda is the shawarma guy / like interchangeable with anyone from the street. Like, if Lynn can't make it, it's just anyone who wants the job can have it. All right, Danielle, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Joining the chaos. So much fun to hang out with all of y'all. It would seem weird to have non-canon characters up in front, but then again, Marvel. I think that's responding to the Keegs comment of, I think the lab coat guy is a doctor civilian backup dancer. Same with the I Heart New York guy, and there are other civilians in that number on the bridge. I agree with you. And I think that it makes sense to have an ensemble, especially where, like, you're talking about Rogers, you probably have the ensemble doing Army as well, being like people in the Battle of New York as well. But Bruce also deserves a speaking role. Like, I'm very passionate about Bruce Banner getting some time on stage. That's for sure. So now that we've dealt with shawarma and the role of shawarma in this musical, let's revisit. Alexis, you said you had some really you had other casting choices you're very passionate about. So why don't you walk us through some of your final choices for this?
Well, I'm going to start with the Chitauri because I think they're the most important. Yeah. And when you zoomed in earlier on a photo of how awesome their costuming was, and I think they all need to be played by former Power Rangers. All of them. Like, So just
Brilliant.
pick a bunch, and they can just come in flash mob style
Brilliant.
as the Chitauri. And it's very important to me.
I love
That's
that.
what it was.
Yeah.
I am with you with that. And can they do like the Power Rangers moves and like the Power Rangers like
obviously.
sound
and
effects?
the music? Yes,
Yeah.
so we'll all be there. Yeah,
Brilliant. That's a very Star Kid move to pull. Like they do that kind of cross genre stuff quite frequently. So I'm very much in agreement with that. I love it.
and I said that for me, I felt like Man We Don't Know 1 and Man We Don't Know 2 would be expertly played by Ben Platt. That's where I put him in this musical. It's in my notes. It's a real thing.
Yeah. Yep. No, and as he should. I would love a totally unknown cast and then like Ben Platt just like in the ensemble, never speaking and never spoken of. And people watching are like, there's no way that they put Ben Platt in the ensemble. There's no way. But we did. We humbled him. Absolutely. Marissa, do you have any final casting choices you want to walk us through?
I feel like given the Newsies energy, I need Ryan Steele to be in there somewhere.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know where I would put him, but he was like on my list of just like had to be in there.
Yeah. No, that's a really good. Maybe as like Scott Lang if he's in it, or like maybe there's like another like main Avenger type we could pull in that we haven't talked about yet.
We didn't do Bucky. Sorry. Continue.
That can be our finale.
Okay.
Our finale is talking about Bucky. Thank you for prompting. I literally just decided that right now because you said it, so that's perfect. The King saying, what about the Jabberwockies as the Chitauri?
No, wrong. Any answer that is not all of the Power Rangers is incorrect.
Incorrect.
And I mean all of them. Like the 911 Power Rangers, the dinosaur ones, like the ones that were also Ninja Turtles, all of them.
All of them. That's a lot of people on payroll.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I love it.
Fun. Amy Jo Johnson, all of the Power Rangers. They're all Chitauri.
Every single one. All right, so let's talk about Bucky, and we will take a few minutes on Bucky, and then we'll wrap the show since we've been on live for quite a while. And I know everyone has places to be, or maybe we don't since we've all been here for almost 2 hours talking about this fan casting. I know I have nowhere to go after this, but I'm trying to be respectful of other people's time. Let's talk about Bucky. And before we talk about Bucky, like there's an elephant in the room that we really need to address. Does Alexis know Bucky?
Do I know Bucky?
I don't think Alexis has ever read any Bucky. Serious.
I love you all a lot. I love you so much. I love you.
I feel like this is like a really like watershed moment, right? Like we really need to make it clear. Alexis, do you know who Bucky Barnes is? It's unclear.
I don't. I have no idea. I have made it up all this time. Yeah. I just got some calamari. And I sat with it a little bit, and I thought the best choice was just to pretend that I knew about Bucky.
Yeah, fake.
Never
exposing your favorite
comic
creators
in my life. I eat a lot of fish, but I don't read any comics. So
exposed energy, exactly. This whole series was in vain. I'm trying to get Alexis to admit that. So. We've accomplished our mission, folks. I'm going to now exit the live. No, but it's so funny that people who are new to this show may not know that Alexis is a bit of a Bucky historian, I would say. Alexis has a lot of knowledge around Bucky Barnes in the MCU and can offer many a resource in your guide to also knowing Bucky in the comics and his MCU journey.
There are no fish. I'm heading that off now. There are no fish.
I'm sorry. I feel like I started that.
It really wasn't
you directly out.
Was it you? Are you the person that started the fish call out?
I did directly ask her after I watched the episode.
She did.
I love it. I love it. But you weren't the only one, and that's the main point.
No, it is my greatest achievement in life. When I opened up my inbox to 100 direct messages that were like, "Where's the fish comic?" I'm done. I have reached the top.
I have an amazing comment here on TikTok from Shadow Warlock. Alexis has to put Bucky Barnes historian in her bio now. Please. Can we make merch that says Bucky Barnes historian?
Oh, I
Only
want
if
that.
the border is fish.
Only. You got
It's
it.
just like all the different types of fish he talks about in the episode.
Yeah, like eating fish and working the docks since 1905. Like, yeah.
Brilliant. I love it. Okay, so who is playing Bucky in our Rogers the Musical? I'm going to start with the comment that needs some recognition from Clyde about their Bucky pick. Cannot be swayed on Zach.
Okay.
How do we feel about that?
I think that's a strong choice.
I respect that choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one.
That's like a little, absolutely. I agree with that.
Oh, yeah. I zoned out.
A Bucky Barnes historian. Alexis, what do you think of that title? We'll talk about it tomorrow on the Geek Show. I think Alexis, are you going to the Geek Show tomorrow, aren't you?
Yes, I'm on the Geek Show tomorrow.
We'll talk more about Alexis as a Bucky Barnes historian and historian in general on the Geek Show tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Clyde calling me out about merch that I've always said I wanted to design and haven't launched yet, about fish driving a Jeep. Working on it.
Me too.
I'm working on it. It's coming, y'all. I swear I'm working on it in a few weeks.
It was gonna say something, but I can't remember.
Yeah, it was like Bucky stole a Jeep. This is what it's looking like. Okay, so there's like a Jeep, a badly drawn Jeep right now, and then where the gas comes out, like the gas says Bucky stole a Jeep, and then it's a fish driving a Jeep. That's what I'm working with right now. I'm trying to make it look worthy of printing on merch, and when we get to that point, y'all will see it too, and it's coming. It will happen eventually. We'll get to that point.
That feels like exclusive information, and I can't believe I'm here for it.
There you go. A Stark Radio exclusive. Love that. Okay, but let's talk about the Bucky Barnes casting so we can end this show and not be on live for like 12 hours. Marissa, who's your choice?
Andy Mantis.
Oh, see, I had him down. Yes, he was on my list.
Angsty, sad, bisexual.
Yes.
Amen. That's all you need. That's
and another CW pick.
I need like a bell to ring every time we cast someone from the CW, like to cleanse the energy of this live.
I have a lot of CW picks, but then I also like basically copied half the cast of Smash too.
I mean,
now I keep thinking though of all the CW people we didn't choose and how wonderful they would be in a low budget version of this show. Like, I don't know what role Stephen Amell is playing, but it's someone.
It's someone. Yep. Alexis, who's your choice for Bucky?
I said Derek Klina from Anastasia.
Yeah, brilliant.
He's got the face.
He does.
Brilliant. Yep, I love it. I have a really, once again, coming in with a hot take. I'm picking someone who has had a really interesting week in media, 2 weeks in media. I'm picking someone who is not from Broadway.
Oh, no.
I'm picking someone who deserved better from Star Wars.
Oh, okay. We're safe.
Can you guess? Can you guess? I'll give everyone a moment if you can figure out who I'm talking about.
A really interesting week in media.
You don't want to know who I thought you were talking about.
This person was making headlines for a moment they shared that was caught on video.
Oh! I'm still not in the loop.
I literally told you before the live started who this person was. Oscar Isaac.
Oh, yes.
Oscar Isaac as Bucky Barnes is my dream casting for this role. Broadway, a commercial. If there's like a comic that comes out and they want to like take a photo of someone to put on the front of the comic, like I want Oscar Isaac as Bucky to be canon. So I'm gonna make that happen via this musical casting.
You scared me so badly with who I thought you were gonna say that I now could not recover to get to Oscar Isaac.
Who did you think I was gonna say?
Continue.
No.
I heard this person has made headlines because they had a rough 2 weeks in media, and I was like, bestie, I will follow you to the end of the line, but John Mulaney is not playing Bucky Barnes on Broadway.
No.
I was really alarmed. It was very upsetting for me. We're good now.
Yeah, they keep saying, were we all thinking John Mulaney? No. Alexis and I had the same thought. So John Boyega came up in my TikTok chat from Shadow Warlock, and Jack's saying John Boyega Steve though. John Boyega would be excellent casting, I think, it as Steve or a Bucky. Lizzie, I have to put this comment up. When I said Star Wars, Lizzie said Jar Jar Binks. My man Jar Jar Binks is Bucky Barnes, also my dream. But yes, Oscar Isaac as Bucky, I think, is ideal. I think
I respect that choice.
It's, you know, it's great, I think, especially with Dune coming out, like, you know, come off the high of Dune and then go off Broadway to a low budget Marvel play and play Bucky Barnes. It's the next natural step.
Against John Mulaney as Steve Rogers.
And inflatable Hulk.
And Lin-Manuel Miranda as Schwarzenegger.
And Party City Thor. Yeah, we've done it. The perfect casting for Rogers the Musical. Do we have any final picks or any? Let's talk about Bucky for a minute, because this is something really interesting that we chatted about a little bit over the course of this week about the involvement of Bucky Barnes in this musical, right? And how could you write a Rogers musical, and how does Bucky place in that? And I think one of the most popular opinions is that it would be Satisfied from Hamilton. But it's Bucky and it's Peggy singing Satisfied throughout the show.
I have opinions on this because everyone has, this is my hot take. Everyone has come to me to tell me that I'm wrong, that it is, that Bucky is actually going to be Lawrence. And here's the situation, okay? I understand that we're seeing some sort of weird similarity between two guys who were in secret queer relationships that like went to war and died. I get it. But in my version of Rogers the Musical, we are much more open about that relationship, and Bucky is written as the romantic lead, which means that Satisfied has to be Bucky's song.
That's a solid argument.
That is the hill that my fish and I are willing to on.
Marissa, what are your thoughts?
My version of Rogers the Musical is about Bucky. Like,
amen. Speak on it.
Steve's story is about Bucky. I think the MCU version of Rogers the Musical might not even feature Bucky.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll even be a mention.
Yeah. I feel like it's What Did I Miss from Hamilton? And it's like, Bucky, wait, like that's what they would do to him. It'd be like, Bucky is now no longer the Winter Soldier. He's back to being Bucky Barnes. And he's like, what did I miss, everyone? And then they like walk him off stage and we see him at curtain call.
Yeah. It'd be like a throwaway line or like one scene or something.
But
I don't know if there would even like be an actor playing Bucky Barnes. It would just be like
a hologram or
back
like a
in
shadow.
The day, me and Bucky.
I am also really attached to, because I seem to be creating multiple Rogers musicals. We all are, right? That's not weird. We all are.
No, we all
so
are.
I also like love the idea of like a bombshell Rogers musical in which like Bucky and Joe DiMaggio are the same person, because I feel like we get the like angsty, like, I don't know. I know I'm in this relationship, but I don't know what you're doing thing. And I feel like that would be cool to see on stage.
That's interesting. I really like that. And then, so what are everyone's thoughts on Peggy? Don't all speak at once.
Okay. I think it was you, Alexis. You made a video saying like, does this mean wasn't it like about Peggy and Sharon being actor?
I think I did say that. I may have,
because I think that would be what
actor would be Ashley Johnson. I'm taking no arguments on that one.
No, that's what I would. That is like the unfortunate treatment of both Peggy and Sharon that we have seen. Like,
speak on it. Be absolutely
how it would fit.
This is what I love about this, right? Like, we are so deep into this conversation that I'm already getting mad at how a hypothetical Peggy Carter would be treated in this hypothetical musical. Either on Broadway or off, I'm mad about how Peggy Carter's going to be treated. Mm-hmm.
I think in the like MCU like Rogers the musical we see, she would be treated as this like one great love,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be a romance.
But it
Which
would, I feel
we
like
don't
it would be
really-
damsel-y, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is not really what it really is, but that's what it would be.
Mm-hmm. So we have our dynamics decided, or at least talked about. The chat's still talking all about John Boyega, which I do love to see.
I love that.
I'm really glad I opened that jar of worms. I just want John Boyega, Steve, Oscar Isaac, Bucky for reasons. With you, bestie. King saying, I want an Isaiah musical like Allegiance, starring
That would be
John
great.
Boyega. I'm with you. So let's wrap this. What are our final thoughts on Rogers the musical? I feel like there's way more elements of this that we could dive into and do entire other lives about. Like, we're talking music, we're talking plot, we're talking more about Peggy and Bucky and like the dynamics of what points of Steve's life from the comics we'd want to see. So there's like, you know, not an end to the conversation, but for an ending of tonight, talking about casting, how do we feel about what we've come up with? Any other thoughts we want to include before we close? I'll start with mine. I think I could have been more chaotic. So next time we talk about this, I will have many more chaotic thoughts to bring to the table. And I never want to speak about Ben Platt in this musical ever again.
I will say I had a small list of like random people that I couldn't find a place for.
Okay.
And one was Ashley Johnson, who plays the waiter in Avengers, the coffee shop person, and is in Critical Role, because I feel like she, like, in my head, in any MCU version of any Steve Rogers something, she is in it as either Sharon or Peggy. Like, I need that.
Right.
I also had Bradley Whitford. So let's, yes, that's a chaotic choice, but I feel like Bradley Whitford and Brian Darcy James would be a good combo.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I'm with you for sure. Marissa?
I'm very excited by our choices, and I'm very upset that's not what we're gonna get. Basically,
agreed.
I said this in a TikTok, but the more I think about this show, the more I just don't want it, because it's not going to be what I want.
Agreed.
Correct.
Agreed.
Alexis and I did have a conversation over like very loudly recorded voice memos from me specifically about like writing this musical.
We were very excited.
We were very excited. Like we should do a video just exposing like what we were yelling at each other about, because it was great. But like we very seriously were like, we should write this musical. And then someone already has. You can read Rogers the Musical on Archive of Our Own. And there is a link, and I'll put it in the description of the videos later. But somebody commented on it. If you go on my TikTok, there's a TikTok called Rogers the Musical live fan casting, I think is what the thumbnail says. Someone put the link to it. So somebody's already written the musical. Matthias Ward's already made the music for Rogers the Musical in the style of Hamilton, and he did a brilliant job with it. Go at Matthias Ward on TikTok, and you can see all the music he's made for the show already. So I feel like the work is done. The merch is already made. I think Alexis has ordered some of the merch.
No, why would you think that? I did not do that before 20 people sent me that video. I had not already purchased it. It's fine. But then somebody sent me a new video with a different type of promotional poster, and I don't know why that is not on merch yet, because I would also own that.
Is it the video that Marissa sent me? The second one that came out with Rogers and the shields kind of pulled up?
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be that one.
We will not be discussing that on live because we don't want to get banned. But if you want to know what we're referencing and you haven't caught on, you can DM any of us, and I'm sure we will share it with you. Yeah, so lots more to discuss about Rogers the Musical. Okay, we're getting told that the fan fiction that I'm referring to is just a rewrite of Hamilton. No, we're talking about a fully written out Rogers the Musical about the life of Steve Rogers. So perhaps alive for another day, we can talk about how we would write and approach the plot of that musical. But alas, our fan casting is complete. What a joy it's been to have you both on the show tonight. Thank you for being here, and thank you to all of you for contributing your thoughts. Special shout out to everyone that sent their thoughts in ahead of time, including Clyde. Clyde sent in a full list, I think, on Tuesday, and I was
Clyde's
like,
the real MVP.
Clyde is the real MVP. Like, was ready to go. And there's a TikTok that Clyde posted on their profile that you can go watch where they explain like their full casting. So please go watch. It's incredible. So thank you everyone who contributed your picks to the fan casting. Alexis, this has been a joy. And I'm sure we will do another variation of this conversation down the line as we get closer to Hawkeye and we learn more about what they're not going to be giving us from the show. Any final thoughts? You want to plug anything? Use this platform for a moment to plug we have Alexis about to hit 10K on TikTok.
Yeah, I want to plug
Alexis. 10K.
I want to plug Alexis.
Everyone
should be following Alexis.
We're almost there. 9,200 followers on TikTok. We're very close. So
happen.
Share Alexis's content. We can all work together as one team to get Alexis to 10K. But is there anything either of you want to plug or share with everyone watching? Nothing. Just follow. If you've had fun tonight, you can come back next week. Follow these lovely creators, Missa Bobissa and Alexis Blake Reads Comics. Same username on TikTok and on Instagram. Same for me. And we'll see you back here next Friday for another episode recapping What If. I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about as well. Marvel's moving quick these days, so we will be back with more conversation about the MCU and Rogers the musical and feminism and plumbing and fish and all the things we talk about on this show next week. I'm gonna end the interns as well. I'm gonna end the TikTok live. Thank you everyone that tuned in and watched on TikTok, and I'm gonna say thank you to everyone on YouTube and Twitch for tuning in. If you feel like liking and subscribing, feel free. And we'll see you on TikTok over the next week. Bye everyone.